Yesterday at EA Play, we finally got our first look at gameplay for the next game in the Star Wars universe, Star Wars Squadrons. Last week I was a little skeptical about this game, fearing it would be a step backwards for EA, but after everything we learned yesterday, maybe EA is finally getting Star Wars right. The story covers both sides of the New Republic and the Empire right after the Battle of Endor and Return of the Jedi. You can customize your characters from each side, including ship cosmetics. A lot of character cameos will happen, like Hera and Wedge from the trailer last week, and in this new gameplay, we actually see Rey Sloane from the Aftermath books. The biggest aspect of Star Wars Squadrons, though, isn't the single-player campaign, it's the multiplayer, and I'll admit, it really surprised me what they're doing in this new game, Star Wars Squadrons. When I first heard of it being a squad versus squad, and each squad being 5 people, I was a little disappointed because I assumed the gameplay would be like Starfighter from Battlefront 2. But I was wrong. Star Wars Squadrons actually requires you to strategize with your squad members and plan defense or offense in the upcoming battles. There are different classes of ships like fighters, interceptors, support ships, and bombers, but you can also add components to the ships that change its abilities and improve you in the battlefield. This changed how I felt about the game because it reminded me of all the strategy that goes into a game I used to play, like Overwatch. You had your tanks, you had your DPS, you had your healers, support, and snipers, and all that stuff. I used to play these games because I liked the strategy and the setup that went into it with your team. And this is kind of the same way. You need your teammates to help you win, and without a good setup or strategy, just like in Overwatch and in Star Wars Squadrons, you might lose. Star Wars Squadrons is not going to be a generic space combat game. This will actually require some skill and teamwork, but I think it will make it all the more fun. The entire game is in first person through the cockpit of your ship. You have to watch things like your sensors, laser charge, combat display, power management, and more. Not only does this fully immerse you into the combat in space, it also lets you feel immersed in the Star Wars universe. One of my favorite things about the gameplay we saw is the looks. The design looks amazing, the graphics are great, but the color palette specifically is probably one of my favorite things because I think it really brings out the life in each setting and planet that we visit. I hope we get to see multiple planets and locations in this game to give us a variety of places to fight each other in space. They have 2 major modes for Star Wars Squadrons, dogfighting where it's a simple 5v5, but the real challenge is in the fleet battle mode, where you strategize how to take out the enemy's fleet. You start off in a dogfight and then you have to progress to the enemy's capital ships. And then after you take those out, then you go out to take their flagship to win. And you can either push forward to the next objective or fall back to defend your fleet. So it seems like a give and take, kind of a tug of war situation with the fleet battle. And that honestly might be the main mode that everyone plays in. And that might be the one where it has a certain meta to win for it for 1 month or 2. And certain ships do better than the others. I can see a lot of strategizing going into this kind of game. Star Wars Squadrons looks like a lot of fun to me. I pre-ordered my copy this week, it has crossplay, no microtransactions, and best of all, it's only $40. If the game was $60, I'd say fans have a right to complain about the content in the game and just kind of what we're getting for $60. But since the game is $40 and we're getting a single player campaign in it where it's mainly a multiplayer game, I think we're getting a really fair deal considering all the content that we're given and the quality of that content as well. The game is made by EA Motive, and I liked how they developed this game. After they finished work on Battlefront 2, the team at EA Motive started working on a game based around the space combat in Battlefront 2, and said it was just a small passion project that eventually turned into what we know as Star Wars Squadrons. This wasn't something that the executives at EA got over-involved with. It seems like they treated the people at EA Motive the same way they treated the team at Respawn when it came to making Jedi Fallen Order. They let the developers work on their prospective Star Wars project with little to no interference in making business-minded decisions. If Star Wars Squadrons is the result of developers having creative freedom, then I think it's a big turning point for EA. This game looks fun, exciting, and gives the Star Wars vibes of being in space and going to battle. I can't wait to play Star Wars Squadrons, and I hope to be streaming on it and posting gameplay on the channel in October when it releases. So comment your thoughts on Star Wars Squadrons below. Are you sold on the game so far, or do you need to see the reviews before deciding to get it? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.